are complaining about a lunch kit. That's what this whole thing is about, a lunch kit.
It's crazy how one guy managed to offend and destroy the ego of 3 millionaires with one post that was really just stating the truth. And because of that post, today we have the pleasure of watching KSI have a mental breakdown and make a complete fool of himself in real time. He's also not the only one having a breakdown over this. It's also, of course, the other two, but it seems a bit more expected for Mr. Beast and especially Logan Paul to try to clap back and just make a complete fool of themselves instead. Because at least for me, I thought KSI would really be the only one not making a complete fool of himself. I honestly thought he would have just stayed on the sidelines and not really said anything and do pretty much exactly what he does with Prime, but nope. But if you haven't watched my last video on this situation, or you just haven't been staying up to date on the Mr. Beast drama or whatever, what I'm saying here probably makes no sense at all. So before we get into KSI's video, this all really comes from the recent product that KSI, Mr. Beast, and Logan Paul decided to launch together, Lunchly. Now this product is being marketed as a direct competitor to Lunchables, but it's really just a one-for-one copy, but with a Feastable bar and a Prime in it instead. And after they announced this, they got a ton of backlash from basically everyone, including creators, and the one that really got under their skin and pretty much started all of their breakdowns is Dantdm. He made a Twitter post really calling this what it is and saying, "What happened to creators? This is just selling stuff to sell stuff. You're lying to your audience and taking advantage of them, and you really just need to do better." But after that brief explanation, that really leads us back to KSI's recent video, Everybody Hates Us Right Now, and judging by the like to dislike ratio, bro might actually be right.
Lunchly, ladies and gentlemen. Me, Mr. Beast, and Logan Paul have launched Lunchly. If you've had Lunchables, this is mainly for my American audience. If you had Lunchables, yeah, I guess they were good at the time. Well, we've made something better. If you don't believe me, try it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. A Dantdm response to JJ and Logan's new announcement. There we go. Here's the context we need. So, obviously released Lunchly, and Dantdm replied. This is what he had to say.
What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them.
Dantdm came through with his tweet. So I was like, alright, I gotta reply to this. So this is what I said. Looks like crap to me, while showing his toys that he sold to kids. How does this benefit your fans, Dan? Now, obviously, people didn't realize that I was shining a mirror in his face. Instead, they were like,
wait, you did the same as Dan. You made toys with Tube Heroes.
And yes, that's fair. But I'm not the one complaining.
Wow, so funny. Like, bro, this fake laugh is starting to piss me off, and we just started the video. But his cringy fake laughing aside, there's no way that he's genuinely serious about what he just said. It's hard to believe that he's trying to compare them selling actual slop to children to Dantdm selling his figures and other little wacky trinkets like pickaxes. I don't know if he's having a hard time understanding that the two items that they were selling are in fact vastly different. Not only will the kids not be eating or consuming what Dantdm is selling to them, but it also does benefit them. I don't know if you've forgotten, but kids do in fact like toys, and even if they don't want to necessarily play with the toy, it's still a cool toy to have if you like and support that creator. So no matter what, it does give whoever's purchasing it some sort of value.
He was talking about food, not merchandise and toys.
And I'm like, okay, sure. Let's keep moving the goalpost.
Moving the goalpost? You're the one that brought his toy that he was selling into question. No one mentioned anything about it until you started comparing it to your edible product.
But okay, did I reply to this? He was sponsored, then promoted, and made a whole video on Munch Pack, a monthly sub box full of food and candy to his Minecraft audience full of kids. Now what?
Now what? What do you mean, now what? Now he's just saying stuff so stupid that I swear I might have a stroke if I keep watching this. Like, what, bro? Now what? I'll tell you what. That was 9 years ago. And not only was it 9 years ago, it also wasn't even his product. It was a sponsor. Bro's just literally reaching for anything at this point. Not only was it not his product, but it also actually doesn't even look that bad. I'm looking at the picture of it on screen right now. It says like Munch Pack or something like that. It looks like it's just a box full of snacks. And also the other huge point about whatever company did run this, they're definitely not trying to advertise it as healthy or the healthier alternative and just blatantly lying to their fans. They're calling it what it is. It's a snack box. Which also, if you didn't know, as of right now, that's my main problem with this Lunchly product or whatever. They're just trying to advertise it as something it's not. Like I said in my previous video, I have absolutely no problem with junk food and other unhealthy foods as long as they're not trying to advertise it as if it's not, especially towards children that will really believe anything, especially if it's coming from their favorite creator.
Now what? At this point, his fans imploded. Self-combustion occurred on Twitter. And they just didn't know how to react. Some just decided just to be racist.
Alright, now, above even all the stupid stuff that he's been saying, this fake laugh is becoming unbearable. He's genuinely laughing like a deranged lunatic every 3 seconds when nothing funny has even been said. If anything, you can argue that this is a case in point as to why you shouldn't consume Lunchly. Clearly he ate it and it made him delusional afterwards, so I don't think anyone else should be trying it. He also did go on to take a look at some of the racist responses that people were leaving, and I don't really think we need to put that in this video because not only is it obviously not productive at all, and if you're leaving some sort of like racist, non-constructive comment, then you're just a dickhead, but I also don't really think YouTube would be too fond of it.
His audience just didn't know what to do. They couldn't fathom the idea that their beloved Dan was also exactly what he claimed that we were.
Okay, so that part right there, he was also halfway referring to the racist comments, which also isn't really fair because he's playing it up as if basically all of his fans were just leaving racist comments, but he's also saying that they can't fathom that they're the same thing, and we already went over this earlier, but they're not the same thing at all. They're the same thing in the way that they're both trying to make money, but they went about them in significantly different ways. One of them is just selling a product that they genuinely think has some sort of value to their fans, and one is, like he said in his tweet, just selling stuff to sell stuff and lying about it as well.
Safe to say he's a hypocrite. But again, they kept moving the goalposts and being like,
Oh, well, Dan only did this once. He's only made a video once about sweeties to his audience, so you're wrong.
I mean, he still did it, but sure. If you just type in Dantdm sweets, there's countless of videos of him eating.
Man, what the fuck? I don't get upset very easy, but the one thing that can piss me off pretty quick is just genuine stupidity. What are you even trying to argue here, KSI, man? Not only were the videos that you just looked up old as hell, some of them were even like 9 years old, but the other and arguably bigger point is, what does this even have to do with anything? You just looked up videos of him taste testing and trying out different sweets. Like, I genuinely don't understand what you're even trying to get at here. What, you're not allowed to eat sweets on camera if you have fans or something? Is that what you're trying to say? Because it looks like in these videos, he's not even promoting anything that he's eating. He's just trying them out. And if you're criticizing him on the fact that he's eating unhealthy foods on video, that'd mean that you also disapprove of basically every mukbang channel to ever exist, or really every video or TV show that's based around people eating unhealthy food. I swear the longer this video goes on, the more he just twists the argument into something it's not. He's trying to make it seem like everyone's making the argument that unhealthy foods are just terrible and everyone else is so perfect and they've never consumed unhealthy food ever. No one said that. That's not a singular person's argument. Literally nobody has a problem with unhealthy food. They just have a problem with you lying to kids about how healthy healthy your unhealthy item is.
But again, this was another complaint that I heard a lot. They were like, I'm about to do the voice again.
Well, Dantdm doesn't actually own the sweets, okay? You own Lunchly, so it's not the same.
Okay, cool. Where was the same energy when Ryan Trahan released sweets? Where was the same energy when FaZe Rog released sweets? Now, I'm not throwing them under the bus because I tried both of their sweets and it's fantastic. It's actually one of the best like sweets I've had in a long time, especially American sweets. Like, it's a shame that, you know, I can't even get it in England. But anyway, I'm not seeing people going crazy towards them on Twitter. You know why? I've realized why. It's because people just hate us. People just hate us. People hate Logan Paul, okay? They hate Mr. Beast and they hate me on Twitter, okay? When it comes to Twitter, Twitter is just a cesspool of the most depressed people on this earth.
Don't worry, we won't sit here and watch this entire garbage video because the rest of it is really just more of the same, of him really just finding the absolute dumbest thing that he can say and then saying it. Just about the only thing here that he got right is a lot of people do hate them, including me. I don't like Mr. Beast because he's just a corpo and obviously everything that comes with that. No one likes Logan Paul because he's Logan Paul, and I never really even had a problem with KSI because I didn't know much about him. He usually just stayed on the sidelines. But this really just brings up the other great point that I have no idea what's with creators not understanding or not taking into consideration any sort of criticism at all. I don't know if they're just genuinely that stupid or if their egos are so inflated and they're just that delusional that they truly think, oh, our product is so good that the only reason people could ever be criticizing us is because they hate us. Yep, that's it. No, that's a fucking cop-out. And it makes it that much worse that throughout this entire video, he didn't address not even a singular valid criticism that people are bringing against this product. He just keeps comparing them to other creators that have sold stuff and trying to act like it's the same thing. Like you've seen, he just brought up 2 more examples with Ryan Trahan and FaZe Rug when they were just genuinely selling candy and advertising it as candy. No one has a problem with that because they're advertising it as what it is. Now, if they were to hop up on camera and advertise the candy and then act like it's the healthiest thing ever and it's secretly much better than everything else on the market, then people would have a problem.
Mentioning the Logan scam from a year ago and Mr. Beast situation from last month, bringing up a harmless Dantdm video from 9 years ago, but I wasn't the one complaining! I'm just replying to Dan! Am I not allowed to reply to Dan? He came at me! Logan Paul and Jimmy's situation isn't to do with me. When I had the whole situation with the P word, I'm not there like, Logan, have my back. Jimmy, where you at? Save me. I had to deal with the situation myself. So what does this mean? The fuck? Those things have nothing to do with me. I'm literally just making a company where I make a product that is better than the competition. And actually, let's take a step back and look at the whole fucking situation. These motherfuckers are complaining about a lunch kit. That's what this whole thing is about. A lunch kit. There's way more crazier things happening in this world, but people want to go in on this lunch fucking kit.
Alright, now, I think that's really just about it because he's actually just losing his mind now. It seems like he's now trying to make the argument that since there are bigger problems in the general entirety of the world, you shouldn't be allowed to criticize literally anything else unless it's the absolute top priority. So until you solve world hunger, global pollution, climate change, and all these other massive issues, you're literally not allowed to criticize, complain about, or really even talk about anything else in any sort of negative manner. So with that said, that looks like that's going to be the conclusion of KSI's mental breakdown, and if you made it this far in the video, you probably liked something, so you may as well drop a like and maybe even subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the year is over, so every sub counts. But I'm not gonna hold you off for too long, so I'll catch you guys in the next one.